From the Cisco series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, July 18th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Chinese hackers use Cobalt Strike on Taiwan's semiconductor sector. According to a report published on Tuesday by Proofpoint, quote, organizations involved in the manufacturing, design, and testing of semiconductors, as well as equipment and services supply chain entities within this sector, and also as well as financial investment analysts specializing in the Taiwanese semiconductor market, end quote, were all targets of spear phishing campaigns undertaken by 3 Chinese state-sponsored threat actors. The activity is said to have taken place between March and June of 2025, and it is being attributed to 3 China-aligned clusters named UNK Fist Bump, UNK Drop Pitch, and UNK Sparky Carp. The spear phishing campaign involved emails appearing to come from graduate students appealing to recruitment and human resources personnel for job opportunities, and which delivered the payload of Cobalt Strike or the C-based custom backdoor Voldemort. Salt Typhoon breached National Guard and stole network configurations. The Chinese state-sponsored hacking group, quote, breached and remained undetected in a U.S. Army National Guard network for 9 months in 2024, stealing network configuration files and administrator credentials, end quote. These, it was said, could be used to compromise other government networks. The method by which the group penetrated the National Guard network was not disclosed, but Bleeping Computer states that, quote, Salt Typhoon is known for targeting old vulnerabilities in networking devices, such as Cisco routers, end quote. Congress to investigate Stuxnet to confront OT cyber threats. The House Homeland Security Subcommittee on Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Protection is planning to investigate whether Stuxnet, the malware that severely impacted Iran's nuclear program 15 years ago, could guide today's critical infrastructure policy debate. This is according to reporting from Cyberscoop. The hearing will happen next Tuesday, July 22nd. Amongst the witnesses listed for the hearing is Kim Zetter, cybersecurity journalist and author of the book Countdown to Zero Day, which provides an excellent narrative of the Stuxnet malware attack, which is estimated to have caused the damage and removal of more than 1,000 centrifuges, or approximately 10% of Iran's total enrichment capacity at the time. Hackers exploit a blind spot hiding malware inside DNS records. According to researchers at Domain Tools, hackers are hiding malware inside DNS records, specifically in the form of TXT records, which make it difficult for traditional security tools to detect. By encoding malware in hexadecimal and spreading it across hundreds of subdomains, attackers bypass email and web filters since DNS traffic is rarely monitored. Once inside a network, an attacker can use standard DNS queries to retrieve and reassemble the malicious code. The researchers stated as encrypted DNS methods like DOH, which is DNS over HTTPS, and DOT, which is DNS over TLS, become more common, spotting such threats will become even harder for cybersecurity defenses. Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO, that is ThreatLocker.com/CISO. The 1.1.1.1 outage not a cyber attack, says Cloudflare. The recent 1.1.1.1 resolver service outage that occurred on July 14th was caused by an internal misconfigurations at Cloudflare in an announcement following a post-mortem of the incident. The outage, quote, impacted most users of the service all over the world, rendering internet services unavailable in many cases, end quote. The announcement from Cloudflare was made as a follow-up to the attack, as would be expected, but was also to refute rumors of the event having been a cyber attack or a BGP, that is Border Gateway Protocol, hijack. Instead, the company explained, quote, the outage was a configuration change for a future data localization suite performed on June 6th, which mistakenly linked to a non-production DLS service. Cisco warns of another high-severity vulnerability in ISE. This new maximum severity security vulnerability impacting Identity Services Engine, ISE, and Cisco ISE Passive Identity Connector, which is ISE-PIC, quote, could permit an attacker to execute arbitrary code on the underlying operating system with elevated privileges, end quote. This vulnerability has a CVSS score of 10 and a different CVE number than the one that we reported on June 27th. It is similar to that earlier vulnerability, which was patched last month. And just like last month's flaw, this one affects ISE and ISE-PIC releases 3.3 and 3.4, regardless of device configuration. Thai officials restore hacked Ministry of Labor website. The website was restored after having been defaced by hackers from the DevMan group, DEVMAN, who claim to have stolen 300 gigabytes of data and are demanding a $15 million ransom. While the country's permanent secretary insisted that only the site's appearance was altered and no sensitive servers were accessed, DevMan claims to have spent over 43 days inside the ministry's systems, encrypting 2,000 laptops and several servers. Allegedly, the stolen data includes citizen records, information on foreign visitors, and classified documents. Arizona's North Country Healthcare suffers cyber attack. Based in northern Arizona, North Country Healthcare is a non-profit, federally qualified health center that provides primary healthcare services through 14 locations. It is also now one of the most recent healthcare facilities to have suffered a cyber attack, this one from the Stormouse ransomware group, who claims to have stolen personal and health data belonging to 600,000 patients. Stormouse, spelt STORMOUS, is known as a pro-Russia ransomware group and has been active since early 2022. The group claims that the data of 100,000 patients will be listed for sale, and the data of 500,000 patients will be listed on the leak site for free. This according to the HIPAA journal. An update to the article in this journal, published on July 15th, says the files have now been published. As usual, we've got a busy Friday of live streams today. It starts at 1 p.m. with Super Cyber Friday, where the topic will be hacking vendor competition. An hour of critical thinking about how to get noticed. And then come back at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, where we have our Week in Review show. Cyrus Tibbs, who is the CISO at PennyMac, will be our guest, providing his expert commentary on the news of the week. To join us for both, head on over to CISOseries.com's events page. And finally, if you find yourself in Toronto next Friday, July 25th, be sure to join David Spark and myself and a whole bunch of great CISOs and fans of the show for coffee at the Brick Street Bakery in the beautiful and historic Distillery District of downtown Toronto. To register for this event, again, go to the events page at CISOseries.com. I'm Steve Prentice, reporting for the CISO Series.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to CISOseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.